You know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage. It's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today it's going down. We've got a descending triplet split ladder for you. We're going to be doing 600, 400, then 200 meters of run. And then we'll be doing 12, then 8, then 4 sets of farmer carries and devil presses. We may be looking at this thinking, not even sure still how this is going to be put together. That move, devil press, that name kind of intimidates me. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well, and we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up, which is going to activate the muscles that we are using in today's workout. So the first move that we are doing today is reverse plank ups. And let's go ahead and have Reb demonstrate 2 reverse plank ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the reverse plank up is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reverse plank ups together. Now, it could be that this is a bit hard on the wrist for some of us, in which case we may choose to do the glute bridge instead. Let's have Reb demonstrate here. That's where we're laying on our back, got the feet pulled in close to the hips, squeezing those glutes, getting the hips as high as we can in the air, getting higher and higher each rep. But if we're doing the reverse plank up as prescribed, we've got those legs out in front of us, hands to the side, squeezing those glutes, getting higher and higher each and every time. So good job here on these reverse plank ups or glute bridges, whatever is better for us. Next, we're going to roll over and get those calves ready with some calf stretches. Let's have Reb demonstrate 2 reps on each side. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're actually going to do some dynamic elbows like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 dynamic calf stretches on each side. Now, it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit hard on that wrist, in which case we have some options. We can do this off of an incline, just like we see Betty Boop doing here. We're going to be on a counter, off the sofa, or even off the wall, but we're going to bend the one knee, push the back heel into the ground, going back and forth like this. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, we are piking that hip up, bending the one knee, pushing the back heel into the ground, holding that for about 2 seconds before switching sides. So good job here on this dynamic calf. Next, we've got some walk the floors. Let's have Reb demonstrate 1 walk the floor for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 5 walk the floors together. Now, we understand this could be a very challenging movement for many of us, so we've got some options for you. We could do the walk the floor down to the plank, and let's have Reb demonstrate here. We're going to reach down, touch the toes, walk out to that plank, then walk it back, and then reach back at the top. Or it could be that we need to do this off of an inclined surface, just like we see Betty Boop doing here. We're going to start with our feet up against that surface, and then we're going to reach our hands down, take a couple steps back. Optionally, we can include a push-up, and then step forward, and then clap overhead. But if we're doing the walk the floor as prescribed, we are getting all the way out to that plank, then getting the chest and thighs to the ground, walking those hands back, and then reaching back at the top. So good job here on these walk the floors. Next, we've got some high knees with a hip circle. Let's go ahead and have Reb demonstrate 2 reps on each leg. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those high knee hip circles are actually going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 high knee hip circles on each side. Now, it could be that balance and stability is an issue, in which case we can hold on to a nearby object for stability if needed, such as a counter or a sofa or even a pole. But if we're doing this as prescribed, then we're doing this standing and getting those knees up above the hips, circling all the way around, and then bringing that back down. So good job here on these high knee hip circles. Next, we've got some reverse lunges, and let's go ahead and have Reb demonstrate 2 reps of the reverse lunge for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the reverse lunge is going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 reverse lunges together. So we've got a couple options here. It could be that, hey, getting that knee all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us. We can do some assisted lunges, and let's have Reb demonstrate. We can hold on to a nearby object for support. And we're going to take a nice big step back, getting that back knee to the ground, using that object for support as needed. Or it could be that even with assistance, this is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we can do some step downs. Let's have Reb demonstrate here. So we want to have a low surface, such as a stool or a step ladder or something along those lines, but we're going to keep the top foot on the object and then alternate that step down leg like this. But if we're doing the reverse lunge as prescribed, then we are standing out in the open, taking a nice big step back, slightly to the side for stability until that back knee touches the ground. So good job here on these reverse lunges. Next, we're going to grab a light pair of dumbbells if we have them. We're talking 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light pair of dumbbells, then any other light common household object will do. It could be a shoe or a pair of shoes. It could be a couple water bottles. It could be a couple pillows, a couple teddy bears. But whatever the case, it's got to be super light. So with these dumbbells in hand, let's have Reb demonstrate 2 reps of the dumbbell deadlift for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those dumbbell deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 dumbbell deadlifts together. So on these dumbbell deadlifts, we are going to start with those dumbbells on the ground right outside the feet. And we've got those hips super low, but the chest is up, shoulders are back, and we are looking straight ahead And we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing, locked out position. And then, of course, we're bracing that core on the way back down as well. So good job here on these deadlifts. And then finally, in the activation phase, we're going to do some dumbbell strict press. And let's go ahead and have Reb demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So on this strict press, those dumbbells are going to start on the shoulder, elbows pointing forward. And we're going to press those arms up and back, getting the biceps into the ear at the top of the motion. And then we are pointing those elbows forward on the way back down as well, back into that rack position. So good job here on the strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move that we're doing is the run. So what I'd like you to do is if you have a running route that you plan to run outside or on a track or whatever the case, we also want to have a good distance and scale as needed. So I'd like you to do a 30-second run in one direction, and then you're going to turn around and run back. And then that distance is going to be important for us to know in order to properly scale today's workout. But most of us are probably going to be doing these runs in the space we have. We're going to be doing some shuttle runs. And first type of shuttle run is the 50-foot shuttle run, where we run 25 feet down and back. Let's have Reb demonstrate the 50-foot shuttle run. And she's getting to the 25-foot turnaround mark without tapping the ground. And back here. And notice today that tapping the ground is going to be not what we're doing today. We're used to tapping the ground, but we're not tapping the ground today since we're actually replacing a longer distance run. Or we could do in-place shuttle runs. So every set of 20 high knees, let's have Reb demonstrate 1 set of the 20 high knees in place. And then after every 20 high knees, you can change directions or use the finger counting method. But once again, we are not tapping the ground today. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then each shuttle run is going to be 20 alternating arm raises. And after every set of 20, we can clap those hands or use the finger counting method. But if you haven't done so yet, let's join in. Let's do 5 sets of these shuttle runs. So on these shuttle runs, we preferably, if we have a 25-foot span of space measured out, we are running down, then running back. And we only count the shuttle run once we came back where we came from. And so you run down, you run back, that's 1. You run down, you run back, that's 2, so on and so forth. Because each shuttle run is 50 total feet. So the 25 feet down, turn around, you come back. Once you get back where you came from, that's when you have completed a shuttle run. And that's how we're going to keep track of those today. So good job on these shuttle runs, whichever version is better for us. The second move that we are doing today is farmer carries, and we're doing it with both dumbbells today. And let's go ahead and have Reb demonstrate 2 25-foot farmer carries. So walking down to the 25-foot mark, that was 1. turning around, coming back. And that is 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position today, then we are going to hold one weight overhead, and we're going to count 12 swipes. Every 12 swipes in one direction only, that's going to count as a carry. And then we switch arms, 12 swipes is going to be the next carry, so on and so forth. So let's all join in here and let's do 6 farmer carries. Now, once again, preferably we have a 25-foot span of space measured out, and all we're counting is the amount of times we traverse that space. But if we don't have a 25-foot span of space measured out, then we're going to consider 12 steps equal to our 25-foot span of space. So every time you step 12 times, that's going to count as a farmer carry. Then you turn around, you walk 12 steps back, that's another farmer carry. So let's make sure we're keeping track of the right amount that we are counting today. Every 25 feet counts as a rep of the farmer carry. And just some notes on performance. We've got the chest up, shoulders back, and we are walking like a proud rooster on the runway. We are a model rooster, so to speak. But yes, we are having great posture walking down and back. So good job here on these farmer carries. The third move that we're doing today is the aptly named Devil Press. And don't worry, we're going to have lots of options here. But let's have Reb show us how it's done, 1 rep of this Devil Press. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the Devil Press is going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 4 reps of the Devil Press. Now, like we said, this could be a very challenging movement for many of us, so we've got some options here. It could be that we can get the Devil Press at least down to the plank if we're not getting the chest and thighs to the ground. Let's have Reb demonstrate 1 rep here. So we're getting the dumbbells down to the ground, stepping out to a plank, stepping out forward with the feet wide, and then just pressing that overhead. Or it could be that, you know what, even getting down to the plank is a bit of a challenge for us. In which case, we could do a modified version of the Devil Press where we're doing a dumbbell deadlift and then getting those dumbbells behind us and then pressing them out overhead. And so to be very clear here, it's going to be very similar to the seated variation that we were just showing. We've got that dumbbell deadlift and then the tricep kick back into the press overhead. And that's going to be a modified version of the Devil Press that we don't even have to get down to the ground if that's a better option for us. But if we're doing the Devil Press as prescribed, we're getting those dumbbells on the ground, getting chest and thighs to the ground. On the way up, we're getting the feet wide, throwing it back, and then pressing overhead, keeping it close to the body throughout the movement. Notice how we do not want those dumbbells to get way out ahead of us. So good job here on the Devil Press. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight in today's workout, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 3 to 5 practice reps of those carries and those devil press, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for the workout. And it could be, you know what? Hey, I can carry more weight, but that devil press, I'm going to have to definitely scale back on that weight. If we have 2 different sets of weights, that's completely fine. But whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important, especially in a long slug of a workout like we got going on today. We want some running music, some devil press music, some carry music that's going to carry us through all these sets. So what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a split ladder workout. We've got 3 different moves, 2 different rep sets. It's going to be easy to lose track of where we are, how much is next, unless we are teacher's pets like Mighty Mouse or like Betty Boop with the Whiteboard Art Award today. So if you're a teacher's pet, let's go ahead and show that whiteboard on screen so we can see how prepared you are. And we're taking this teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this descending split ladder workout. 600-meter run, 12 farmer carries, 12 devil presses, 400-meter run, 8 farmer carries, 8 devil presses, then 200-meter run, 4 farmer carries, 4 devil presses. Now, most of us for the runs are going to be doing shuttle runs. So in that first round of the 600-meter, we'll be doing 30 shuttle runs. In the second round, we'll be doing 20 shuttle runs. In the last round, we'll be doing 10 shuttle runs, picking the version of the shuttle run that's better for us. If we do happen to be running outside or we have some type of track, let's still scale the distance accordingly. We're looking for these efforts to take less than 3 minutes in the first round, less than 2 in the second, and less than a minute in the last one. So whatever distance we just ran in that 1-minute test in the warm-up, let's use that as our last round distance. We'll double it for the second, triple it for the first round. And that should help us to finish within that target window of time. On the farmer carries, let's remember each 25-foot length is a farmer carry. If we don't have 25 feet measured out, which we really should do at some point, then every 12 step is going to count as a rep of the farmer carry. We'll walk 12 steps in one direction, turn around, walk 12 steps in the other. That's 2 reps, so on and so forth. Every 12 steps counts as a rep of the farmer carry for today. And then on that devil press, we're not adding weight unless we've been earning badges, and let's choose the version of the devil press that's best for us. So your score is going to be the time it takes to get through this descending split ladder workout of shuttle runs, farmer carries, and devil presses. If you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here, and we'll get this started. I'm going to highlight red to get us going after a 10-second countdown. So here we go. 30 shuttle runs, 12 sets of farmer carries, 25 feet each or 12 steps each, then 12 devil press, and then it's all downhill from there. starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these shuttle runs. And let's remember how to count these. Every down and back equals a rep, because each shuttle run is 50 feet. So down and back 1, down and back 2, down and back 3, so on and so forth. And we're doing the version that's good for us, whether we're doing the 50 foots or whether we're doing the 20 high knees or 20 shuffle steps, just like we see Betty Boop doing here. And we've also got Mighty Mouse doing these shuttle runs, hitting hybrid options, getting stronger and stronger each workout. That is a testament to dedication and discipline. But we are starting this out strong. As mentioned, we always have a target window of time to make sure that we've picked the right choices in movement options and that we are challenging ourselves the right way. And we're looking for this first set of run to take us about 3 minutes, give or take. So this is a bit on the longer side of a run compared to most of the run efforts that we do in this program, but sometimes we got to go long. And at least the good thing about this one is that it's going down, which is always fun. But we've got the 30 sets of shuttle runs. And then after the 30 sets of shuttle runs, we're going to be moving on to the 12 sets of carries. And let's remember how we are counting these carries. Each carry is going to be 25 feet compared to the shuttle runs, which is 50 feet. So let's just make sure we keep that straight as far as counting reps. To put it very simple, the shuttle run, you only count the round trip. On the carry, you count each way. That is the simplest way to put it. But it looks like we've got Betty Boop on these carries. Each length equals a rep. We're doing 12 lengths. Mighty Mouse is on these carries. And we've got Reb just about closing out these runs. And there goes Reb, picking up those dumbbells. About to do 12 sets of these carries. So each length equals a carry. And after we do 12 sets of these carries, we're going to move on to those devil press. And it looks like right on that cue, Mighty Mouse already on the first set of 12 devil press, doing hybrid options here. So tapping that ground, getting it up, pressing that out overhead. Betty Boop doing these devil press, getting down to what looks like the plank, and then pressing that out overhead. But Reb finishing off some carries and then about to get down into these devil press. And that's the beauty of this program, of having target windows and hybrid options. We see progress and we can adjust things on the fly. So Mighty Mouse is going a bit fast. I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging for Mighty Mouse in this next round here. We're going to add some distance to those runs and to the carries. Just a couple extra steps on that next round. But right now, let's finish out this first round strong. And here goes Reb, getting down on these double press. These are no joke. We definitely want to make sure that we are breathing right, bracing right. Deep breath in on the ground, brace through the push on the way up. And there goes Betty Boop starting off this second round of 20 shuttle runs. Mighty Mouse taking off on this round of 20 shuttle runs. And then Reb just a couple reps away. From closing out round one and then heading out on the shuttle runs for round two. Betty Boop chugging along. 20 sets of these shuttle runs. Mighty Mouse on these shuttle runs as well. But we are definitely pacing this race here. That first round was the biggest. The second round is a third less. And so, yeah, we've got some fatigue, but we've also got some motivation. It's like, all right, I just did 30, I can do 20. I just did 12 double press, I can do 8. And that's the advantage of this descending ladder format. It promotes that push in each and every round. But so far, everyone is on track to finish within today's target window. And as previously mentioned, that target window helps us to know if we've made the right choices with the weights and movement options. But we are going down, going back, getting through these runs. And here goes Betty Boop, done with the runs in round two. Getting onto these carries, 8 sets of the carries. Mighty Mouse as well on these carries, 8 sets of these carries. And Reb just a couple runs away from closing out the round of 20 and moving on to the 8 sets of carries. And then double press. So nice work, guys. We are breathing, we are bracing, getting through these carries, getting through these runs, staying focused. And there goes Reb. Quick sip, picking up those dumbbells. And here goes Mighty Mouse and Betty Boop on these double press here in this round of 8. Getting down, getting up, pressing that out. But let's breathe, let's brace. We definitely want to make sure we're pacing ourselves through this devil press. It's very easy to go too slow, but it's also easy to push too hard. We want to find that sweet spot. And Reb joining in on this devil press fun to close out round 2. Getting down, keeping it close, pressing that back. And just like that, we've got Mighty Mouse on this last round. We've got Betty Boop on this last round. Reb closing out the second round, getting ready to take off on this third. So we know what to do when we finish. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. So let's keep pushing through this race. We are bracing as we're racing. Reb taking off on this last set of 10 shuttle runs. Betty Boop closing out the runs. We've got Mighty Mouse already on these carries. Just 4 carries left. And Reb sprinting. Mighty Mouse as well. Sprinting through those carries. And now on this last set of 4, Devil Press for Mighty Mouse. Looking to clock in toward the low end of this target window. Betty Boop as well on these Devil Press. And last rep for Mighty Mouse. Time across the finish line. Betty Boop. Across the finish line. And we've got Rabbit Reb closing out these last shuttle runs. And we love to hear from our cheering squad, guys. So Reb taking off on these carries. Just 4 in this last round and then 4 more Devil Press.
Let's go, Reb. Let's go.
Holding on to those bells.
Go, Reb, go. Go, 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 go.
And getting down for the last 4 Devil Press.
You got this.
There goes 1. There goes 2.
Woohoo! Go, Reb.
There goes 3, and then the last 1. And time for Reb. Well, that was crazy as always. But now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today is the Samson stretch. that's going to be where we get into a nice long lunge like this, optionally twisting toward that front knee. If this is a bit hard on the knee, then we can actually do a single leg forward fold, reaching toward the toe like this. And while we're here, let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch sides here on this Samson. So we're going to get the other leg way forward like this, optionally twisting toward that knee. And if that's hard on that back knee, we can do the single leg forward fold on this side. And while we're here, let's hear from Reb. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we are twisting toward the left, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Reb?
I think my high was the double press. I wanted to go heavier, but when I tried it, I knew that was a bad idea. So I think I chose the right weight. The low was just counting. I think because shuttle runs, there and back is 1, and then you move into the carries where there and back is 2. I might have counted wrong. I'm not sure. And the buffalo is, I decided like while I was running to scale the runs, because when my team was done running way before me, I was like, this is going to be just me forever at the end. So I scaled it so I could, but I finished like right in the middle of the target window. So I guess it worked out.
And that is the beauty of the target window, making some decisions on the fly. You know, we definitely assess as much as we can before the workout, but definitely not, we don't have to be afraid to make changes as needed. So good job, Red. And let's switch to the half split. We're gonna shift those hips back, straighten out that leg, get the chest in toward the knee. And hey, if this is hard on the knee, that is completely fine. We can do a straddle and then reach toward the left toe like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Betty Boop. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get the left elbow up and pull back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Betty Boop?
Well, my high, I think, were the double presses, and they were easier to count. I think, like Reb, my low was that I was kind of, I wasn't sure if I was counting right. And then I thought I heard you say something about each trip, you know, and I'm going, but I thought he said, and then I started second guessing myself, but you were referring to the other activity. Anyway, that was my low, just keeping the counting straight. And my buffalo is, man, how happy I am to be back in the saddle again, because it was a couple of weeks that I wasn't able to. So it was a good WOD. Thank you.
And thank you for making smart choices. You know, sometimes life and circumstances takes us away for a while, but then we make smart choices to ease back into it. So good job, Betty Boop. And let's go ahead and hit the split on the other leg. We're getting the other leg forward, stretching that out, getting the chest in toward that knee. And if this is hard on the knee, we can straddle out and then this time reach toward the other toe like this. And while we're here, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the other elbow up, pulling back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the carry. I didn't have a low, but the buffalo was those runs. I was getting kind of tired towards the end. It was just a lot of walking. So I really had to pace myself and but I made it through it.
That you did, as you always do. We never doubted you. So thank you, Mighty Mouse. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's left. This sweaty selfie. Because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera. And let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit crew.
True.
Crew. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.